Hello, welcome
Hello,
again. We're gonna be watching the games from week 4. It's me and Carter. Hi, Carter.
that's me. Hello.
Yeah, let's just we won't mess around. We're just gonna play the games. So first of all, we have me versus the Tauros Stampede versus I'm the Tauros Stampede, and what I'm playing against is a Volt Trick, also known as Brian. And so, yeah, we could talk a little bit about the brings. I brought Hard Trick Room. That was my plan into this team. I also, my terror types, I realized I left Growlithe on fire. That was definitely just a mistake. Also, leaving Hypno on Psychic was also just a mistake. So, those are just defaults. But Terra
You got Terra
Water,
Dragon for both your water types. That's good.
yeah, the Terra Dragon, I wanted to resist the electric, but I didn't want to give up weaknesses against water moves by going Terra Ground, is usually the
Right.
electric immunity, but I didn't want to give that. So I wanted to resist the water moves and the electric moves. So
Yeah, you gotta be careful with the Terra Ground.
Dragon was
Terra
my
Steel
choice.
Venusaur is always good.
Yeah, I wanted to resist the flying type attack. It's really the only thing I was worried about for Venusaur.
Yeah,
So
Hurricane. Yeah.
steel is good for that, and then water was an interesting choice, I think, for Golem. Basically, Golem is only worried about he's worried about ground and grass type, but he didn't have grass type, so I was just worried about ground type moves and then water type moves. So water resist those. So I picked.
Water does not resist ground, so
Dang, well,
you
it's neutral
keep
against
that in
ground and
mind.
it resists water.
Yeah.
I'm not very good at my type charts, so yeah. But and then on his side, he has Ghost and Steel, Electric, 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 Water. That's he's had that every week, so I don't think we need to talk
Yeah.
about it. But yeah, and his brings are also the same as every week. So if you want to know what we think about those, watch any other review, and yeah, we'll just play the game and see how it goes. So he leads Electrode Zapdos. Or no, he leads Electrode Nidoking.
Electrode
I was a
Nidoking. You're
little.
so used to Electrode
I was
Zapdos.
so
That's
used to
thing.
Electrode Zapdos. This did throw me off a little. But I know that I'm going hard Trick Room, so I just lead my Hypno Golem. It's basically. The challenge for him is can you one shot Hypno? And the answer is going to be probably not. So let's see what happens. He goes for the Electro Web. I protect that. It actually misses Hypno, shockingly. That's like a
It's a little crazy
95%.
how tanky Hypno is.
Yeah, then the Earth Power goes into the Golem, but that doesn't work. Now, here, I actually made a really big gamble. Also, for some reason, my dumb brain didn't realize that this is a special Nidoking. So I did the Growlithe switch
Oh, yeah,
to
I was
get the.
wondering why you did Growlithe.
Yeah. But the thing is, if I didn't do that and I just clicked Psychic into Nidoking, I think this turn goes way better for me. But I decided I don't need to Terra. I'll probably survive the Earth Power with the attack drop from Intimidate. But then that's not
Ooh,
how.
that's very, very bold.
That
The
is
Earth
not.
power is special.
Yeah, so that's not how that works. The resist doesn't work. Also, I was thinking I'll one shot him with high horsepower probably, uh, but I didn't. And so then Golem goes down instantly, and I kind of wasted my
Yeah.
Trick Room setup, my really important Pokemon. So this puts me in a very bad position. And now I have Hypno,
Well,
Growlithe.
at least, yeah, you've got Hypno to finish off Nidoking now, but he's got other stuff
Yeah,
in the
I have
bag.
3 turns of Trick Room, and he has like his whole team, and I've lost my
But
most
if he brought
important
Kabutops,
Pokemon.
then he's kind of fucked.
Yeah, I lost my most important Pokemon here. So he goes for a Helping Hand. I will for a Snarl. That unfortunately does not pick up that KO. The Psychic will finish it. It would have been nice if the Snarl had picked up the KO, but whatever.
But at
And
least he
then
broke
that Helping
Sash.
Hand does nothing. Yeah, I. That's why I clicked Snarl. Is actually I was like I just want to break Sash, so I'm gonna click Snarl because it'll break that sash. And so yeah, because again, I was not thinking it was special Nidoking. My brain never like comprehended that fact throughout the entire series. Like even in game 2, if you watch my
He's really
perspective,
into that, the special Nidoking, and I don't
he
think it.
is.
I
It's
feel like
not.
it's not that
It's
good.
not that good. I mean, it's good into like me, I guess, because I brought all this intimidate. But he did probably shouldn't have expected That I don't know if you expected it, but yeah, I don't know. So Kabutops
Like it
comes
was
out,
good into me. It was like a good idea to deal with my intimidate, but then he just kind of kept using
kept
it.
doing it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I have double intimidate on my team too. Thank you very much. But anyway,
Well, yeah, that's true.
Kabutops is coming out in the rain and Trick Room. This is not going to be so good for him, but I don't have much offensive threat at all. I decided to switch out to Tentacruel. I wanted to like maybe get another Intimidate. I'm also revealing my last Pokemon, but yeah, I wanted to maybe get another Intimidate here, and yeah, and I thought this would resist Kabutops. So he goes for Helping Hand, Rock Slide, which I just am trying to finish off this Electrode because I don't want this pesky guy around doing like Electro Web nonsense and Helping Hand nonsense. So I go for that, and then he's gonna do Rock Slide, which does miss Hypno. Thank God. I think that might be a game-winning miss, but he does way more damage to Tentacruel than I thought. It was 60% out of that, but that is a Helping Hand. I do have the Rain Dish going, so I'm going to be able to heal up a little bit on Tentacruel. And Tentacruel is running the surprise Giga Drain attack, which will
There it
bring
is.
Tentacruel back to nearly full, so I don't really mind too much that I took that damage. And then with Rain Dish, I'm back up to 87%. Hypno Tentacruel now versus only Zapdos. So I have 3 on 1. It is a really strong 1, but it's just not enough, and I'm gonna close this game out. Basically, he goes Terra Electric. I go for the Protect to like bait out an attack. It didn't actually work, but Hypno's crazy
Oh,
and
wow.
lives the Thunder. I decided to go for another Trick Room, just to make sure Zapdos can, be dealt with a little more easily. I still have my Terra, so I go Terra Dragon to resist. I go for Ice Beam because it's just the best move because it can potentially get a freeze at some point. If I get a freeze at any point, then I win. He gets a critical
I don't know.
Thunder with the para. So now I'm like, oh, this is actually getting a little dicey. But the Ice Beam lands, and this time it
Oh,
freezes
and you got the freeze.
on the next
I don't know that
turn.
Ice Beam was actually the best though, because I don't think electric resists water. You probably could have just gone for like stab damage.
Stab damage for the. Does it? I thought it did. Also resist
I
water
don't I
damage.
don't think so. I'll have to look it up, but I don't think so.
Maybe look it up. It's worth knowing. But I still had Growlithe in the back, which could have done like just a little tiny bit of damage as well. So yeah, I don't know. Just
Yeah, no, it doesn't. Does not resist water.
okay. So water would have been the best. Scald would have been the best
Yeah.
choice. But I was thinking Ice Beam because like if I get a freeze, I win. But yeah, whatever. I still
So I could
won.
have gone a
It
different
it
way. Because if he had killed like your Tentacruel, you would have been kind of screwed just a little bit.
Yeah, but in Trick Room, there's like no way he can't kill it that fast. I have Terra Dragon, so it's like I resist. What would have screwed me is if he got a full para. If he got a full
Yeah.
para, like, but Hypno would still hit with Psychic, and then Growlithe comes out, and I still have 2 turns of Trick Room. I just think, I think I'm probably winning no matter what at that point. But I guess I could be wrong. I think 3 on 1. There's no way Zapdos kills all 3 Pokemon. Like they're all almost full.
Well, the third is Growlithe, so
Yeah,
I
but
don't know.
still, yeah, I don't know. Snarl is good.
Snarl.
Snarl
Snarl didn't
Will-O-Wisp,
even pick up the KO on Nidoking.
yeah, but whatever. I only need
Will-O-Wisp,
a little
maybe.
bit of damage. I only need a little bit. All right, whatever. I won the game.
That's
Even despite a really bad turn 1, I still won that game, so I'm pretty happy. So game 2, I think he's going to pivot to Trick Room. So I go with a different lead this time. He does not pivot to Trick Room. He just does the same thing, which I was really surprised. So I went for Tauros and Growlithe because I wanted the double Intimidate in case he brought out the Snorlax. I was like, yeah, I'll double Intimidate him, and then his Snorlax will be useless. But he didn't do that, and now in my dumb brain, I'm still thinking Nidoking is physical, so I'm not worried because I just cut its attack in half. That's not how that works. So I stay in, I go for Terra Dragon because I know this is a Terra Electric Nidoking. So I'm like, I need to somehow protect my Tauros here. I don't want to just get knocked out. And then I go for a really defensive play, which actually works out because he also goes for a defensive play. He goes for the Rain Dance, but I use Bulk Up. So
Hmm.
now I do way more damage on Tauros, which is nice. Again, forgetting that it's a special Nidoking, I'm thinking, okay, this Nidoking is half attack and I have a defense boost. This Nidoking can't do anything to me. But of course I'm wrong. But yeah, and then I just go for the classic Snarl just to break Sash. Thinking, that's a good thing to do. And now, turn 2, I decide to preserve Growlithe and bring Hypno onto the table. It will hit this Nidoking pretty well. And he goes for the Terra Electric this time, and the Helping Hand. So he's going to try to do some big damage. But I actually have Aqua Jet with my bulk up on Tauros. So this lets me go first no matter what on Tauros, which does become pretty important. But now with this bulk up, I do big damage. Like, this is neutral, and you see how much damage I do. So, and that's with Aqua Jet, which is kind of weak. But in the rain, it's really good. That's another thing I thought about when I brought Aqua Jet on Tauros. I'm like, he's going to set rain, so I'm going to have a boosted Aqua Jet. But yeah, he goes for the Thunder into Tauros. It does resist it, thank God. But yeah, it does a whole boatload of damage. And then now I'm revealing leftovers on Tauros. The second Aqua Jet will finish that off. And then I can just go for Psychic with Hypno. And again, these speed drops I don't care that much because I really just want to click Aqua Jet with Tauros no matter what. So that's pretty nice. My leftovers will bring me slowly back up. Zapdos comes out, and so now I'm thinking like, yeah, my choice is like I could go for Electrode or I could just guarantee to get a little more damage on the Zapdos with this Tauros to make use of this boost. So I decided to do that, and I think I just go for. I was trying to debate whether I should click Trick Room this turn or not. I think I decided not to. I go for Aqua Jet just to get some damage on Zapdos. It does about half. He uses Reflect on Electrode, which is a little scary for me. And then I did decide to set Trick Room that turn. So it's kind of perfect because now Trick Room goes up at the same time my Tauros goes down, and Golem can come out in the Trick Room. Yeah. And I'm not going to make the same mistake. Like, Golem's not going to get one shot this time around. So the Reflect is a big problem for Golem, and I didn't actually bring, like, Brick Break or anything. I wasn't really anticipating Reflect. The Psychic will finish off Electrode. And then I just go for Rock Blast into Zapdos. Even with the Reflect, it's not enough. Rock Blast is just way too much damage into Zapdos without it being terastallized.
Are you doing loaded dice?
I'm doing loaded dice Rock Blast, yeah. Because it's 100% accurate, and it's at least 4 hits, which is 100 power. So that's 100% accurate, 100 power rock type move right there, which is, I mean, it's super important to deal with the Zapdos, I think. So yeah, and then his last Pokemon is Snorlax, but again, it's just a 1v3, and the Reflect, like, it matters, but the Trick Room, I think I'm even outspeeding under Trick Room. I bring out the Intimidate just to get that attack down. Okay, he does have min speed, so he does outspeed in Trick Room conditions, but I just go for a Rock Blast. It's not going to do too much, but I can basically, with Growlithe, completely shut down this Snorlax, which is kind of why it's coming out. He does try to hit the Growlithe. I use Body Slam. It does some damage. The Snorlax is just slowly going down, and then I land the Will-O-Wisp onto Snorlax. So now he's attack dropped, and he is burned, so the Snorlax just isn't going to do any damage anymore. And so it's pretty solid. The Growlithe can use Helping Hand. He does a Body Slam to do 6 damage, or 5% damage to Golem, which is so sad. And then the Body Slam with the Burn Chip will take out the Snorlax. And so, yeah, that's what I did. I went hard Trick Room, and it worked.
Very nice. That Golem is pretty scary in Trick Room.
Yeah, it's really nice. Really nice Pokemon. I think Golem is like... Golem is carrying my team a little, like, in a way, like, not really because I have other things, but for like being a 9th pick, it's been crazy valuable. Like, it's allowed my team to be so much stronger than it should be because I got such a powerful pick so late in the draft, you know. So yeah. Cool. So we'll go into the next one. This is Nolan versus Jake. Let's see what happens. So the brings, we could talk about Terra Ice on Victory Bell is very odd. We see Terra Electric Magneton, that makes sense. Terra Dark on Persian, those are just default ones, I think. Then Terra Grass on Starmie is interesting. I mean,
he's not setting snow or anything. I don't really get the Terra Ice.
Yeah, I have no idea what that's about. On the other side, I think it's all standards, except for Terra Dragon. Yeah, it's just default and then Terra Dragon. But I mean, Terra Normal is what he's going to use, so I guess he doesn't care. And as for the brings, Victory Bell making an appearance is definitely interesting. And we do see the Persian finally showing up on Jake's team, which should be, we'll see how good it is. It should be good.
Oh, so he has used Persian.
Yeah. And then Yeah, I don't know what Victory Bell's doing here. Terra Ice. I guess it's just to resist the ice moves from Lapras to give you a better Lapras matchup with the Victory Bell. But I don't know if that's that worth it. There are other ways to resist ice, I think.
Yeah, you just go Terra Water.
Yeah. Interesting, interesting. Okay, let's see how it goes. So I did also. No, I didn't watch this game live. I've never watched this game. Okay, yeah. So Gengar Dragonite comes out. That's the classic lead. Then we see Jinx Persian. So this looks like a Trick Room kind of lead. We'll see what happens. Terra Normal obviously comes out. Fake Out goes into the Dragonite though.
Oh, but
And
he is inner
he's
focus.
inner focus again.
He's always inner focus. He's never going to use multi-skill, is he?
He really should, but yeah,
Should.
maybe
Seems
not.
like he's not gonna. I mean,
Yeah,
inner focus does like prevent fake out, which is really
it
good
was
for you.
obvious. It was really good in this matchup, but like there are teams
Yeah,
where there's no fake out, so it's like not that
yeah.
important. You can also go covert cloak if you really are that worried about fake out. But anyway, he does go for the extreme speed into Persian, but Persian is giga physically tanky, so this does less than half, which is kind of crazy. And the Shadow Ball comes out also into the Persian.
Ooh,
Probably should have
bad
gone.
choice.
Yeah, that doesn't really make sense as a thing to do. You should probably be going for Jinx there. But this is going to allow Jinx to do Trick Room, which is probably what we should have expected. He goes for an immediate switch into Lapras, which I think is a little bit of a mistake because you could still press Extreme Speed in Trick Room. If anything, you want to switch out Gengar. You know what I mean? Because Gengar can't do anything in Trick Room, but
Yeah.
yeah, Lapras is good into Trick Room. So like I do kind of get it, and it resists this Ice Beam coming out from Jinx. Dark Pulse comes out into Gengar, does a lot of damage. What will Gengar fire back with? Sludge Bomb will finish off the Persian. So Trick Room's up, but it's not the worst position for Nolan at this point. But now Magneton comes out, and this Pokemon is hard for Nolan to deal with. The Lapras is not going to underspeed the Magneton. It goes for Icicle Spear into Jinx,
Oh no.
which doesn't really do anything at all.
Yeah, you should have just used a water move. Does he have a water move?
Yeah, the Scald would have been better, definitely.
Yeah.
Or like Thunderbolt or something. Icicle Spear is probably one of the worst things you could do there,
Because
unfortunately.
Magneton doesn't resist water, you just
Yeah.
attack Magneton.
But yeah,
Good damage.
that Magneton Thunderbolt does big damage to Lapras. Jinx goes for a Light Screen, which will help.
Very good.
Gengar
Very good.
uses Thunder into Magneton, which I don't know what he thought that would do.
That's ridiculous.
Because
You should at least be doing like Shadow Ball and Jinx.
just Shadow Ball the Jinx, that's super effective. You'll KO that Jinx. Or if you want to hit Magneton, then you also use Shadow Ball because Thunder is
Yeah.
resisted by Magneton, but Shadow Ball is not. So Shadow Ball would have been totally fine.
What
Um,
is the thought process of Thunder and Magneton? That's wild.
I don't know if maybe he's anticipating a
The
switch.
switch?
I don't. Yeah, I don't see
Why
any
would
other
he
reason.
switch?
Thunderbolt hits
If you worried
Lapras.
about Starmie,
That'll take Lapras out, and then Ice Beam will finish off the
even Starmie
Gengar.
would go down to Shadow Ball.
Shadow Ball, yeah, Shadow Ball is really safe and good. Now Butterfree
Into
comes out.
everything.
One turn left of Trick Room. Uh, Extreme Speed finishes
Extreme
off
speed.
this
There you go.
Jinx.
Finally. You could have killed that Jinx like 4 turns ago.
Yeah, and then Magneton goes for a Tri Attack into Dragonite. The Sleep Powder does come out, which will put the Magneton to sleep.
That's like so weird. I
And
didn't think
Machamp,
Sleep Powder worked on Magneton.
yeah, no
I don't
reason.
know why I thought that it
No,
wouldn't.
it only doesn't work on grass types, but yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, the sleep powder. This is a pretty big sleep. I mean, the problem is Magneton, Dragonite. Unless it has some fire move like Flare Blitz, like on packing, like yeah, it's not gonna deal with it. And so Magneton's just gonna kind of win this game. Now it does go for Terra Electric as well. The extreme speed goes out into Machamp, doing big damage to that Machamp. My goodness. But the sleep powder will also hit Machamp. Now Machamp is asleep, and Magneton is asleep. Can they do enough damage to kill Magneton in these sleep turns? The extreme speed will finish off Machamp. I don't think you needed to do that. I think you could have started hitting Magneton because Butterfree can do the damage to Machamp. But Magneton's going to wake up, use Thunderbolt, kill Butterfree instantly, and now it's Dragonite with 30% versus Magneton with 90%. And I think this
Yeah,
matchup
you
is
really
just
can't do much.
way too favored. The thing is, if he was extreme speeding the Magneton this whole time instead
The
of
whole
extreme
time he could
speeding
have
the
won.
yeah, instead of extreme speeding
I think he was
the
more worried about
Machamp.
Machamp like killing him though. I mean, it made sense.
Yeah, but Butterfree doesn't
He
Butterfree
could
just
have
do it?
attacked.
Like surely
Yeah,
Butterfree has like
what does
Air
Butterfree
Slash.
have? Like,
If it has
yeah,
Air Slash or any attack, it could use that into Machamp and finish off that
it's just
20%
using
from
sleep
Machamp
powder on Pokemon that were already
that are already
asleep.
asleep.
It's
Exactly. It's like surely there's another move.
kind of a waste of a Butterfree.
Yeah. So this
I mean,
Thunderbolt
it did
goes out and kills the Dragonite.
more than it's done before.
Ultimately, I think that was like one move away from Nolan winning, and there were a lot of mistakes that
There were there's like multiple moves away from Nolan. Nolan could have won that game quite handily if
very
he just made a
easily by
few
making
different
yeah.
choices, mainly with Gengar
Yeah, but I'm
at
saying
the beginning.
even at the end, there's like if gets one more extreme speed off, he wins. So it kind of shows you how close it
Yeah,
was, even with all the mistakes that he made. So
but good game for Jake
good
there.
game for Jake. Yeah, he played. I think he played well for the most part. No obvious mistakes from his side. So the next game, let's see what happens. We got Dragonite Butterfree as the lead into the Jinx and Persian. So same lead for Jake. Dragonite's going to go
But
Terra
different sides.
Normal. And probably Extreme Speed. We see a Protect from Butterfree. The Fake Out goes into Butterfree.
Good fake out.
But the Protect. And then the Extreme Speed doesn't quite finish off the Jinx. So the Jinx does manage to get that Trick Room out. He's going to go for the instant Lapras switch
See,
once again.
why would he switch though? Because he still has priority even in Trick Room. I don't know that he understands
I
that.
don't think he understands that. I think he thinks Extreme Speed is like fast and now Trick Room's out, so he's gonna be slow.
Yeah,
But like that's not how
yeah,
it works. So yeah, you would want to keep in the Dragonite and switch Butterfree if you're gonna switch a Pokemon. You know what I mean? To get the Lapras out.
yeah.
The Foul Play goes into Lapras, does a little bit of damage, and then U-turn from Butterfree. See, the U-turn
Interesting.
would have been good into the Machamp. Like earlier. But this does get Dragonite back out. So I actually don't hate this pivot overall because he ends up getting both the Pokemon he wants by doing this. So
That's true.
it was actually pretty good. But yeah, now Lapras into Magneton. Magneton in Trick Room is really scary. What's he going to do? He goes for Extreme Speed into Magneton.
Oh, so if he didn't get it before, now he gets it.
It does like 25%. Yeah, now he'll get it. The Thunderbolt does a big damage to Lapras. Icicle Spear goes into Persian. This just doesn't do anything. Yeah, like Icicle Spear was really clutch in the game against who was
Yeah,
it?
against me.
Against you, the Icicle Spear was really clutch and it looked really good. But in this game, it just looks bad because it's like he has really high physical defense. So you would want to just go a more standard Lapras set with like you could have leftovers and go for some special moves. You know what I mean? Because Persian's physical defense is off the charts, and so is Magneton. So there's no reason to be leaning into physical Lapras this time around. But yeah, the
Yeah,
Dark Pulse
you
comes
should just be
out.
dropping scalds.
It does a decent damage to Dragonite. He goes for the Extreme Speed into the Persian this time, which I don't love. I feel like this Magneton is such a big problem for you, as Persian is literally doing nothing. The Play Rough comes out, and the Dragonite does a little bit of damage. And now Butterfree comes out. One more turn of Trick
Why
Room.
wouldn't he just use like Dark Pulse
Butterfree
or
goes for
something?
Protect, which it does make sense to wait out the Trick Room. And then he goes for Extreme Speed to finish off Persian. I think he might be
See, I
choice.
think Play Rough was the wrong choice there. I think he could have. I mean, it seems he's like a physical special, but he should have used Dark Pulse to get the stab damage. Because I mean, was he forgetting about Terra Normal? I don't
I guess he might have been. It's easy to forget. Also, like, I think Persian, you don't really want to run attacks. You want to run, like, he could just be
supports.
using,
You
yeah,
want
he could just
like
be
Snarl, whatever.
using, yeah, he could be using
Parting shot.
parting shot to reduce the Dragonite attack and just get Victory Bell in, you know? So now Victory Bell comes
Yeah.
out. No Trick Room is left, though. So the Extreme Speed will go into the Victory Bell, nearly killing it.
Wow.
And then U-turn will finish it off.
Okay,
Butterfree is
that's a
faster.
bold double. You should have just sleep powdered Magneton.
And now Ditto comes out, which does actually nothing because there's nothing for it to copy on that side. So just a
Ooh,
waste of Ditto there. And then
woof.
now Butterfree will come out, use a Protect. This is letting more Extreme Speeds go into Magneton. They're doing like 25% each time. He protects the Thunderbolt. Now another Extreme Speed. The Sleep Powder can come out before
Dang, this is
Magneton can
tense.
act. And it's going to be the end of this game.
Yeah, that's tough for Jake. I mean, he made some mistakes there. He probably could have. And I mean, they both made mistakes, but
I think if you're
I think Nolan played a lot better this time on this game.
yeah, definitely. I think if he's using Persian like more how you're supposed to, which is fake out parting shot, then he gets the victory bell like actually under Trick Room conditions instead of like the victory bell came to one turn too late. And if at any point he had used Parting Shot, he could have got Victory Bell in
Yeah.
sooner, and then like Victory Bell could make it take advantage of the Trick Room and actually get some damage out instead of dying instantly. So yeah, let's go to game 3. Very exciting stuff. We got Dragonite, Butterfree into the standard Jinx Persian. No, Jinx Magneton. So it's a bit of a mix-up here. Okay. The Terra Normal comes out as usual from Dragonite. It's going to be Extreme Speed. The protecting the Butterfree. This worked really well for him last time. Jinx is actually sashed, which we revealed for the first time. We didn't know that because the previous Extreme Speed got it to 4%. We didn't know it was sash. Now we know, which is kind of interesting. It actually is kind of a big difference. And then the Thunderbolt.
Okay, so you're going to get the Trick Room set up.
Yeah,
for Magneton, which is pretty good.
And this time the Thunderbolt doesn't go into Butterfree, so it doesn't get baited by the Butterfree because Butterfree went for Protect last time and he wasted an attack into the Protect. But this time, not so much. The Thunderbolt will get some good damage onto Dragonite, and then he goes for Extreme Speed into Jinx, finishing it off. But now Magneton has a free Thunderbolt into Butterfree,
perfect,
taking that out. Yeah, just a little bit of a lack of being able to deal with.
And then you've got Machamp. I mean, this is good. This is like elegant stuff from Jake so far.
Yeah, really good stuff from Jake. Now Marowak does come out. Marowak, if it's been speed, can outspeed everything, and it's really strong. So I wouldn't have minded seeing the Marowak switch from the Butterfree, because if it is running that Lightning Rod, then that would mean that it could have taken that Thunderbolt and taken no damage and gotten switched into the Trick Room.
Oh, this is interesting. Did he pick Lightning Rod? I doubt it.
I think he probably didn't. So Extreme Speed will go into Machamp, does a ton of damage. But the Rocky Helmet on Machamp actually bringing that Dragonite down. Wow, that is an interesting choice. I don't hate it against Dragonite. So yeah, this Dragonite goes down to the Dynamic Punch, and then Marowak uses Bone Ring and actually misses. This is a 90% accurate move, by the way. And he misses into Magneton. That would have definitely killed that Magneton had he hit.
Yeah, that's a huge
The thing
miss.
is, he has a really safe Flare Blitz he could have used into Magneton, 100% accurate, and would have also picked up the KO. I mean, Bone Ring isn't even stab on Alolan Marowak, so it's definitely just the wrong choice. But I
get it. Like,
but I get it. Yeah, it makes sense. He's not ground type.
Tempting.
But he's also not lightning.
I mean, like a ground type move against Magneton, like.
Yeah.
Weak.
No, I get it. Temptation. Yeah. The temptation is there. It makes sense. And it would have one-shot it, and then he wouldn't have taken all this damage. But he's also not... He's Cursed Body, which is just the default ability. And man, does it lose him this game. It loses him this game so hard. Because now he takes 70% from Thunderbolt. Also, he's not minimum speed on Marowak, by the way. Machamp is
How do you not realize that? How do you not go into Team Builder and see the Lightning Rod? I guess you just don't think about it. Because I didn't know Marowak had Lightning Rod.
I mean, yeah.
But, yeah.
I think the answer is you probably didn't spend very much time.
Maybe he probably just wasn't thinking about Magneton as I got to prep for.
Yeah, that could be true. Maybe he just didn't think about it. But like straight up, Cursed Body's is worse. Like I don't know why you would ever want that over Lightning Rod. Like if you're gonna take anything other than Cursed Body, take Rock Head, because then you can Flare Blitz.
It's probably just like the default ability is Cursed Body.
I'm sure it is. I'm sure he didn't change it. That's what I think. I don't think he thought about it.
Yeah.
Even for a second. So I could be wrong, but. Yeah, so then the Thunderbolt will do a ton of damage, and then he's not outspeeding Machamp in Trick Room because he didn't go in speed either. So that is like this Marowak, which should win him the game, just dies and does it literally does nothing. It dies in 2 hits and does nothing. It should win him the game because he should be faster. He should have killed Magneton in 1 hit, and then he should kill Machamp the very next turn and just win the game like straight up. It should just 100% win the game.
I love this Machamp, though. I like the moves.
The Machamp does look good. He goes for a Tri-Attack onto the Gengar. It's only Gengar left.
Oh, yeah.
He goes for a Tri-Attack
onto Gengar.
Gengar does not work. It's ineffective.
It's immune.
And now Persian comes out. This is pretty much over. There's no way Gengar can beat... Like, it's Terra Dark. The Flash Cannon does half its health, and then the Persian can finish it off.
Dark Pulse.
So, nice. Pretty easy win for Jake. And again, it's just stuff. Like... It just seems like Jake is playing well, and Nolan is just, like, not thinking or... like, doing things that make sense. Like, I'm sorry, but straight up, it's like, if you just spent a little bit of time at Team Builder, you clean this game up so easy. Like... Yeah. And it just wasn't done. So, yeah, that's why you're 0-4, So...
Tough.
Yeah. And you have tough matchups going to the end of the season. It's not going to get easier. So, yeah. All right. Next game. This is Greenlee versus James.
You mean Mewtwo and Friends
Mewtwo and Friends versus Eevee's Backyard Bash.
Yep.
Yes. So here we go. So me and Greenlee prepped this team a lot, and we had a plan. So let's see how it goes. So Moltres comes out, and Kangaskhan. So this is where it's Terra Steel Moltres. So yeah, it's a little bit dicey because this is a choice banded unicorn.
I will say each one of these has taken 20 minutes, and we have two more, and I have 20 minutes left, so
we might have to go a little
speed it
faster.
up.
Okay, so Earthquake comes out from Kangaskhan. It does big damage to everything on the field, including the Moltres, which went Terra Steel, so he actually became super effective against himself. The knockoff will get rid of the Assault Vest from Kangaskhan. Now the Fire Wrath comes out, will finish off the Unicorn, and the Earthquake comes out, which kills Moltres and
Wow.
Muck. So this
Devastating.
earthquake is just devastating everything. Now this Tailwind is up, by the way, for James, which is a pretty big deal because that means that Charizard is technically not going to go faster. Charizard will go Terra Ground to protect itself
So
from
what
Jolteon, which
if
makes a lot of
you
sense.
didn't bring Vulpix, what ability did you give Charizard?
Just Blaze. No, yeah. So yeah, so the Shadow Ball is going into Mewtwo. Went for the Terra Ground to protect Charizard instead of the Terra Fairy to protect Mewtwo, which ends up being sort of the wrong decision. Heat Wave does big damage to both, but not enough to stop this Rock Slide from coming out. Kangaskhan does a little bit of chip with the Rock Slide, but Mewtwo gets a really unfortunate flinch. This is such a bad flinch because this is like a game-losing thing. Now Mewtwo goes down without doing anything, and the second Heat Wave will finish off these two Pokemon. But it ends up being Vaporeon versus just the Charizard, and it's a Terra Ground Charizard, so this is pretty much a game over. I think that flinch onto Mewtwo is actually pretty game-winning for James. If that doesn't happen, it's kind of over.
Yeah, all you have is Heat Wave.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just over.
Yeah.
So that was a pretty big flinch. I also think, it's hard, it's impossible to know, but the Terra Ground to protect Charizard ended up being worse than the Terra Fairy that would have protected Mewtwo. But that's impossible to know. It's like, whatever.
Well, then Charizard would have died, but yeah.
Yeah, Charizard probably would have died. Well, no, because he went for the Shadow Ball into Mewtwo, So
But the Rock Slide would have killed Charizard immediately.
Oh, yeah, probably. Okay, next game. Let's see what happens. We're trying to move all along here. So Charizard and Magmar this time. I don't like this pivot. I think actually you could just keep going with the Unicorn and just instead of hitting Moltres with it, which is Terra Steel, just hit something else. Because what's going to happen here is she's going to use Follow Me on Magmar, which does nothing against the spread moves.
Yeah.
And then Heat Wave was the choice, which I'm not sure I really agree with.
I think because she's predicting a Terra Steel, which he didn't have any reason to do this time.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is, yeah. So the Fire Wrath comes out. It does some decent damage, but then we're going to see Rock Slide just killing everything.
Yeah.
Really good Rock Slide there. Not respecting that Rock Slide, which she saw in last game, so you kind of want to respect it. But the Follow Me, it just doesn't do anything. So now comes out Muck. Knockoff goes into Kangaskhan. That's not really going to do very much. We see an Earthquake. This time, his partner is immune, and it just does big damage to both Pokemon, taking out Magmar. The knockoff again comes from Muck, this time into the Moltres, but this damage output just isn't enough.
He resists that anyway.
Yeah, he resists it. Now Mewtwo's comes out. Now you still have Terra Fairy on Mewtwo, so you're kind of relying on... This Pokemon needs to do all the work for you. Kangaskhan goes Terra Ground. The Thunderbolt finishes off Moltres. And Earthquake comes out doing big damage, finishing off that Muck. And now it's just Mewtwo versus everything. And unfortunately, it's just not going to be enough. The Shadow Ball is outspitting Mewtwo. The Psy Strike doesn't quite finish off the Kangaskhan, which is crazy how bulky this Kangaskhan is. I mean, and it's
even
just
without the Assault Vest.
Yeah, Psy Strike hits physical, actually.
Oh, it does. Okay.
So... Yeah, just a little bit
Forgot
of
about that.
not respecting the spread moves. I think also shifting to a strategy away from the Rapidash that's actually just worse. Because like the first game it was rough, but you can adjust by using slightly different moves. And Kangaskhan honestly looks like MVP in this game for James. It looked so strong, just hitting spread moves and being impossible to remove, doing pretty good damage all around. So, yeah, pretty good showing from Kangaskhan. Never expected Kangaskhan to be the
Yeah.
carry, but it
Kangaskhan was amazing. Kangaskhan is underestimated at every turn. And I think also, I hate to say it again, but I still think Vulpix should have been there. But anyway, that's just me.
I don't
At
think
least as a brain.
Vulpix doesn't do anything in my opinion.
Vulpix enables Charizard in a huge way, and the heat waves would have like obliterated the team. Like these guys were surviving heat waves that they wouldn't have if Vulpix were there. But anyway,
And he still would have lost to Vaporeon in the back. Okay, now the
Vaporeon
next
would not
game.
have lost done anything because Sun would have, rendered it pretty useless. But
Yeah,
anyway,
but it's not
my
like
game. What
Vaporeon
do
would have
I know?
taken
I
any
lost.
damage from Charizard. Okay, so yeah, do you want to talk about the brings, or do you want to just go into it?
Okay, I guess I'll quickly go over my. Oh shit! Drop something. I'll quickly go over my brings. I went Terra Ground on Gyarados because I was worried about Terra Electric Blastoise. That never happened. I went Terra Ghost on Arcanine. I think I was worried about. I don't remember why I went Terra Ghost. I went Terra Fairy on Poliwrath. I don't know. That's just cover all its weaknesses. Terra Ice on Articuno as always. Terra Flying on fucking Electabuzz to get around Doug Trio, I guess. Terra Grass on Rhydon to get around Blastoise, maybe. I don't know. That doesn't make any sense either. But whatever. Those are my brains.
Okay, yeah,
He went Terra Grass on Ninetales, which is odd.
yeah, it's bad. It's bad.
It's a bad one.
All right.
Didn't matter though.
Yeah. So he goes with Primeape, and he goes for this turn one. He goes for Bulldoze, which is cool in theory, but does nothing because you're
Yeah,
you're flying. But
I'm flying.
protect Bulldoze is like a thing you could do. But you know, but not here. So Waterfall gets this Doug Trio down to Sash. But it does drop your speed with the Tangling Hair. And then the Rock Slide comes out from Primeape. This is just such a good Rock Slide from
Was
Primeape.
not expecting Primeape to be running Rock Slide.
Yeah, it's just so
His
powerful.
leaned so far into Rock Slide on this
And
team. He
then
doubled Rock
he double
Slide.
Rock Slides you and just kills
He turns everything
everything.
around.
Your whole team. The Waterfall finishes off Doug Trio, but now your speed is halved, so this Gyarados isn't really contributing much. You do get a Moxie boost, but you're one move from death. Now Blastoise comes out, and Arcanine in the face of the Blastoise. The Intimidate goes into the Primeape, but Defiant brings his
Defiant.
attack actually up. And so this is just such a safe Rock Slide from the Primeape. Let's see what happens. You go for Terra Ghost, which does
Oh
protect
yeah,
you.
because of fake out from Blastoise, that's why I went Terra
And
Ghost.
then the Fake Out you become immune
Yep.
to. So it's a nice Terra
did work.
Ghost there. You use Rock Slide. It does a little bit of damage to Blastoise, but honestly quite little. And then he protects the Waterfall. Good protect from him that turn. And now the next turn, the Rock Slide comes out. I mean, protect Fake Out is like kind of a crazy play. It's like super defensive. But yeah, the Rock Slide
Yeah.
comes out the next turn and finishes off Gyarados. And then you use Rock Slide. It misses the Primeape, which is super unfortunate. Does, again, very little chip to Blastoise. But you
I
get
don't
at
know
least
why I'm like spamming Rock Slide here. It doesn't really make a lot of sense.
you get at least the flinch. But now it's Bob the dog versus everything. Like with Electabuzz is your support, but I don't know if you could deal with Primeape Blastoise. You use the Follow Me to protect the dog, but the Rock Slide just
Doesn't
keeps
work.
coming.
Like, why am I doing that?
It flinches the
And I
dog,
flinched.
which is a really unfortunate flinch. You go for Thunder, this time taking out the Blastoise, realizing the Follow Me isn't going to be that helpful. But this final Rock Slide will finish off Arcanine, and now it is Electabuzz versus Primeape and the Snow Warning. Ninetales, who goes for Aurora Veil, super unnecessary Aurora Veil. You use the Rain Dance, and then the Rock
Doesn't matter.
Slide
It's just over.
is just it's just gonna finish it off. Also, I realized the Aurora Veil stays even if the weather changes. I didn't know that that's a thing, but that is how it works.
Oh, I didn't know that either.
Yeah, so that's good to know. You probably need to have something other than just weather to stop the Aurora Veil. So yeah, not great.
Yeah,
Not
that was
great.
really tough. And it doesn't really make sense that I brought Arcanine and Electabuzz as my like I think my leads made sense, but yeah, that was bad.
Next game, final game for our review.
So I think I do a lot better in this one. I'm
You're
trying to do like the
the
Poliwrath
Poliwrath setup. So this time
setup thing,
Ninetales comes out
but I don't
with the
quite get it.
Primeape. He goes for the Terra Grass, which is, I guess, to protect him. I don't know why, actually. This
I don't know
doesn't.
why he went Terragrass either, and that should have been like really pretty good for me, but
Yeah, the Terra Grass Protect is like kind of ideal for you because now you can go for Rain Dance and you want to go for your own Protect, which this is a safe play. What you did is safe. He does go for the Aurora Veil, but the Rain Dance comes out. Now you have a pretty safe Belly Drum Follow Me, but instead you go for Liquidation. Which this is
yeah,
where
this is
I don't understand it because you have a super safe follow me belly drum, but you just don't do it.
okay. It's it's because the whole thing is belly drum and follow me is like how you protect Poliwrath, but I know that he has Rock Slide on Primeape. So what I'm afraid of is that the Rock Slide plus the belly drum damage is just gonna like kill my Poliwrath. And so I just try to play it safe. But really, I probably should have just belly drummed anyway because the Rock Slide probably wasn't gonna
Yeah,
like take half my HP.
Poliwrath is very tanky. He's just not that strong, so you kind of need the belly drum to do the damage. But yeah, because we'll see how much the Rock Slide does to you in a bit, I think. So you use Liquidation, it does a lot of damage to Primeape. You take a 9% from the Icy Wind, that gives you some speed control. Then the Drain Punch kind of flips that matchup. Now Poliwrath is dying, Primeape is owning. Thunder goes into Primeape this next turn. Doesn't do very much at all, thanks to the Aurora Veil and the fact that Electabuzz just doesn't have that much in terms of damage. The Freeze Dry goes into the revealing Freeze Dry onto the Poliwrath, so that doesn't do anything, but yeah, the Thunder comes out the next turn. One of the Primates still living. This Primeape with the Drain Punch is coming in super clutch. It's really hard to kill with the EV Light and stuff. Articuno comes out. This time Blizzard hits. Does do pretty decent damage to both, and then the Drain Punch also hits the Articuno, keeping this Primeape ever immortal till it finally dies to the final Thunder. Yeah. And now, let's see. He's going to have to see what he brings out next. A Doug Trio's coming out. This time it has Rock Slides here and big damage, but you switch. Again, Gyarados, no Intimidate. The Follow Me comes out, but we're going to see Rock Slide doing big damage to Gyarados and some Chip. The Freeze Dry does go into the Electabuzz due to that Follow Me, which does protect the Gyarados at least for one turn. And now the Aurora Veil is up. The rain is over. Rock Slide still does big damage, though. And let's see if the Icy Wind will pick up the KO with the Rock Slide to just spread Chip onto Electabuzz. And now Dragon Dance comes out. This was a little
Yeah,
bit
I should not have
greedy
done
on the Dragon
Dance.
Dance, yeah. And then this Rock Slide will just finish off Gyarados, so it ended up not getting a single attack, I think, which kind
No.
of sucks. And then Poliwrath also just dies to Freeze Dry. You're just outsped.
Yeah, that was like complete like dog shit from my end
And then you bring up the
on this game.
Articuno. You have Terra Ice.
He goes for Fisher because at this point he knows
Freeze
he's
Dry
gonna
miss.
win, and it's just like a meme.
Yes, yeah. And if you won with
But it
Fissure,
does
it'd be
allow me
funny.
to kill the
Yeah,
Ninetales.
you kill the Ninetales with the Blizzard, and now Blastoise
Doesn't
comes
matter
out.
though.
Yeah, it's just way too over because the Rock Slide can finish you off. I do think the Terra Ice, like, because you end up Terra Icing, and it's like, it's super pointless. I feel like if you had Terra Steel or like some defensive Terra in Articuno, it might actually end up being a little better. But yeah, that's all we have, and that's pretty much all the time we have as well. So thanks for joining
Oh
me.
well, there you go.
Any final
Yeah,
thoughts?
I definitely could have done a lot better. I should have gone for the belly drum because even if I was right that I would have died, it's still like the more like it's still the play that gives me the most reward because like there's no way in hell like a normal ass Poliwrath was gonna like
It
pick up the
just
KOs I need.
it doesn't really do anything, yeah, by itself.
Yeah.
And then
But live and learn.
weird. I think you had some weird Terras and some weird Brings. I even think that Vileplume would have helped you a lot in this against like the
Yeah,
Blastoise.
I wasn't gonna bring Vileplume against like a Ninetales thing though.
Well, I hear you, but bro, like you don't have to match up well into everything. You just need an answer for Blastoise. If you don't, you have no answer for Blastoise.
That's true.
Like Blastoise didn't have to do anything this game, but like you know, because you were getting screwed so much by the other Pokemon. But even if you had built with the other Pokemon, I think Blastoise could have been a big problem for you.
Yeah, I just kind of thought like the snow Articuno thing was gonna like carry me, and it didn't.
Well, yeah, that's the other thing is actually when the snow went up, you didn't switch into Articuno. That I was
Yeah.
also surprised by that because like here on this game, like he goes snow immediately, and I mean I guess you're committed to the
And instead I
Poliwrath,
do like the rain. Yeah, I figure like I'm just gonna try this out and see if it works. Yeah,
but you could have done an insta switch into
I could have
Articuno.
just switched.
I mean
Yeah.
the Rock Slide is a big problem though. Like don't get me wrong. So like I do
Yeah, that was
I
the other thing. I was really worried about Rock Slide, and I probably should have thought about that because in the second game I was thinking, yeah, okay, this time I'll just do the Poliwrath um, Rain Dance thing because I really wanted to try it out. But I wasn't even thinking about like Rock Slide when I did that. And then as soon as I got into the game, I was like, oh yeah, Rock Slide, and then I got like nervous. So it's just too much like back and forth.
yeah. Rock Slide is good is the lesson of this game of this match.
Yeah, yeah,
And honestly, even the match with Greenlee as well, because James used Rock Slide a lot as well.
hmm
So, all right. Well, thanks for joining me.
great move.
Yeah. See you around.